As previously mentioned, I am a pre-pharmacy major, and with this portion of my speech, this segment of it, I am going to go into why I wanted to become a pharmacist. So I'm going to talk about the background, how that decision came to be. I'm going to talk about wanting to work in the healthcare field, numerous career options within that, and just a conclusion to wrap it all up. So first off, the background. When I was a junior in high school, my school already started thinking about colleges and where I want to go and stuff and things like that. And I had no idea at that point what I wanted to work as. I did not even want to think about it at all. And one night, we were driving down a street, and my dad was like, "Hey, you should look into becoming a pharmacist." And with my dad being my dad, I just like, "Oh yeah, whatever. You're just mentioning stuff. Like I'm not gonna ever consider that because you're the one that considered it for me." Senior year came around, the fall term of my senior year. I started applying for schools, and I was looking at my strengths and weaknesses for school, my subjects, and I realized that my strongest subjects were math and science. And with that, I remember that night my dad told me I should look into pharmacy, and that's when I started looking into it seriously. And so I talked to my college counselor about it, and she thought it was a great idea for me, and it also helped out a lot that I wanted to work in the healthcare field for the longest time. I didn't necessarily know if I wanted to be a nurse or a doctor, but then after comparing each of those things, I realized that being the pharmacist would be perfect for me. So, as I previously mentioned, I wanted to work in the healthcare field. I did not necessarily think that I could handle being a doctor in terms of like 8 years of school, residency, the hours. Like I've heard different stories from family members and friends of doctors and people who are doctors. And how I said that pharmacy fits me better is that in a way I can make patients feel better, and that's what makes me feel good about myself is when I'm able to make someone feel better. So for example, in pharmacy I could prescribe medicine for someone to heal a cough that they're having or a sore throat or anything even major than that that can help reduce symptoms. And so that really inspired me to want to work towards that. And with that, I like to consider myself a very big people person. I like talking to a numerous amount of people, and I know with this job I'm going to be meeting a ton of different types of people, from my coworkers to the people that I'm prescribing medication to. So I kind of like that social interaction and that connection that I can make. With becoming a pharmacist, there are also numerous career opportunities. So by that I mean like I can work in various locations. So I can either work in retail, so like your normal CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, any of those things. I can work in the hospital, which I personally am leaning towards wanting to work there. I just think the hospital is a really cool place, and I really want to, if I do continue becoming a pharmacist and I still decide to go down this route, I think that's an awesome place that I would want to work. Community pharmacy, so like Sacco pharmacies, I don't know the specific name of it, but yeah, that would be considered community pharmacy. And also I can branch out to different categories of becoming a pharmacist. So I can work as like hospital pharmacist, like I said, community retail pharmacist. I could also become a teacher. I could also, if I wanted to work in school, like I could work in academia. So that was also why I really, really wanted to continue on this major. So overall, like typically it takes 8 years to become a pharmacist, but UNE does an accelerated doctorate program where we have 2 years of undergraduate as well as 4 years of doctor of pharmacy, so it makes it 6. So there is pressure with that, and I'd be lying if I said that money was not a factor in it. So I do as far as I've heard, you do make six figures right after graduation. So that definitely helps out a lot in for the future. But I know like money isn't everything in terms of this, but it does help. So overall, why I wanted to go into pharmacy is just for some reason, like I thank my dad for even suggesting it. It helps me fulfill that wish of working in the healthcare field, and it gives me a plethora of like different opportunities.